Job interviews, those awkward dances of desperation where we try to convince strangers to give us money in exchange for our questionable skills. We've all been there, sweating through our suits, praying we don't accidentally call the interviewer mum. But some interviews are less about nerves and more about a complete and utter lack of self-awareness. This, my friends, is the story of one such interview. Our protagonist, let's call him Barry, was a man on a mission. He was determined to land this job. A marketing guru at a company that may or may not have been involved in selling mayonnaise. Barry had done some research, he looked at their website for a full minute, and was ready to wow them with his expertise. What Barry lacked in actual marketing knowledge, he made up for in enthusiasm. Or perhaps it was delusion. Either way, he marched into that interview room like he owned the place, completely oblivious to the fact that he looked like a blueberry that had wandered into a tomato convention. Remember that research Barry did? Turns out the company's color was red. Not just any red, mind you, but a very specific shade of crimson that Barry had somehow misinterpreted as azure. Thus, he found himself sitting across from a very confused interviewer, his bright blue shirt screaming, "I didn't even bother to glance at your company logo." Now, we're not saying you need to wear a full-on company uniform to an interview. However, a little color coordination never hurt anyone, unless of course you're colorblind and think you're wearing beige when you're actually sporting a neon green monstrosity. Fashion faux pas aside, Barry's interview went from bad to worse. Remember that whole marketing guru thing? Yeah. Turns out Barry's idea of marketing involved putting flyers on car windshields and hoping for the best. The interviewer, a seasoned professional who actually understood things like digital strategy and target demographics, looked increasingly concerned. Things took a turn for the truly awkward when the topic of salary came up. Barry, with the confidence of a man who had found a £20 note on the ground, announced his expectation of a six-figure salary, plus benefits and a company car. Oh, and did he mention he needed extra for child support? Now, there's nothing wrong with negotiating your worth. However, there's a fine line between knowing your value and demanding a king's ransom when you're essentially applying to be a court jester. The interviewer, struggling to maintain composure, gently explained that Barry's expectations were a tad unrealistic. Undeterred, Barry launched into a passionate monologue about his extensive experience in marketing, remember the flyers, and his unwavering belief that he was the missing piece in their corporate puzzle. The interviewer, meanwhile, began to fantasize about being anywhere else, perhaps on a beach, sipping a cocktail, preferably one with a little umbrella in it. So, what can we learn from Barry's disastrous interview? Firstly, research is your friend. Google is your ally. Wikipedia is your comrade in arms. Spend more than a minute familiarizing yourself with the company, their work and their dress code. Secondly, be realistic about your salary expectations. And finally, for the love of all that is holy, please leave your personal life at the door. Nobody needs to hear about your child support payments or your cat's latest hairball incident. Remember, a job interview is a chance to showcase your skills, not your ability to make HR question their life choices. So go forth, be prepared, and for goodness sake, choose your shirt wisely. You never know, you might even get a job offer. Just don't expect a company car, or a six-figure salary, or a round of applause for showing up.